Hello there. You can call me Des, and this is my first time doing a voiceover, so forgive me if I ramble a bit. And I totally forgot to press record when I started sketching this part. That was a goofball mistake from me, so apologies. um, I was doing this while I was streaming. There weren't really any people around, but I think it was just for fun at my part. Yeah, and I recorded it, so here we are. I didn't really have a grand painting in mind. I just wanted to sketch uh, a horror character or just something horrific and have a little bit of fun when I was doing this. And yeah, and at this point, I think I put the sketch layer on multiply, and yeah, coloring under it. I just put in the base colors. I typically just start with super muted pale colors at the start and then work from there. I didn't really have anything that I was planning. I was going through the mood of it, and yeah, I was thinking that she'd be in a diner or whatever. I was thinking maybe a waitress. And yeah, and here I'm starting to put in the harshest shadows. I just do this as a guide for me, or as a reference for where the light source will be as I paint. I think it's a lot more helpful that way for me instead of the little symbol um, light thing. I'm gonna put it on the screen right now what I mean, but yeah, I don't typically do that, and I just put in the really harsh shadows instead. It's just easier for me to remember where the light source is that way. One of my favorite tropes in creature design or just monsters or in horror is the split head thing like this. It's just, I don't know. I know it's overdone or it's a bit of a cliche at this point, but man, I just really like that. Um, just fun. It's a fun visual for me. At this point, it's just me rendering the clothing and stuff and adding more details um, to her clothes and her hair and her face. Um, I like to use bright pinks on places where I want to emphasize how kind of gross it looks. I don't know. It's a bit I don't know. It just feels kind of grotesque seeing something so bright, fleshy pink It's just a bit unnatural seeing it on the outside instead of the inside. And here I was kind of hesitating to put blood on her face, like where the split is happening, because I was thinking that it's kind of it's a bit more horrific, thinking that it's healed up, or that it's been a while that she was like that. Like maybe it isn't fresh enough for it to bleed anymore. It's a bit more horrific that way, I think. And yeah, I was thinking that maybe putting too much blood on there, maybe just overdoing it, like on her face and stuff. But yeah, I just hesitated with that. And I also like using just deep purples and pale grayish blues on the skin, or just the veiny parts, and also just the eyes being kind of glazed over is also um, one of those defining things, or just making it look, or making the characters look kind of dead, like not really fully, with how I painted it on here, but yeah, it's one of those tricks. And here I'm defining the teeth and the highlights, but I didn't overdo it either. Um, Basically just the same. I think the same thought process with the blood. I just I just wanted to feel like um, they're kind of dried up like that, or just not fresh. Like they've been outside of her like that for a while, and they're just hanging out. My fascination with the split head thing started with, I think when I saw that that live action Resident Evil movie with Mila Jovovich, the zombie dog thing, and maybe from the thing as well. Like, just really love that thing. I really love the split head cliche monster design. I imagine her right open eye would be um at the mercy, or it's controlled by the creature in her head. Like it's not in her control anymore, and the other eye is just it just looks straight at you. It's just static, and it doesn't react to anything. But the other eye is very much alive, and the smile is just stuck on her face. Like, you wouldn't really know fully if she's still conscious in there. Like, maybe not anymore, but that's one of the that's one of the things that's gonna, like, it's just implied maybe, or just a bit of storytelling in my head. I didn't really have a name for her yet, so I just thought maybe Marie would be appropriate. I was thinking maybe Dolores, but it just felt too old timey vintage to me, and I wasn't really thinking that this whole thing would be set in the 50s or something. But I don't know. What do you think? Maybe is she better as a Dolores or as a Marie? I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm kind of bouncing around that thought, or just those two names. I continue detailing things like her hair, and it's still kind of in place and well kept. I also added a little bit of blush on her cheeks too, but it's not applied well, or just not properly blended in. Maybe she's still putting it on, or the creature is controlling her to put it on, like the makeup or something. I also painted in little splashes of blood on her clothes, just for more just for more storytelling. And yeah, I didn't really think that she'd be aggressive or anything, but that's up to you, really. Then finally, subtle glow lights, or just highlights as if it's from someone's flash from their camera taking a photograph of her. And yeah, maybe not, but yeah, that's it. I think with this one, I didn't really have anything in mind at the beginning, but then as you continue to paint, the story writes itself. I feel like that's the way with me sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it's just better to start just sketching things and then worry about the story later. It's just something to get your flow on, maybe. And yeah, that's it.